Hey there, dudes and dudettes. Welcome back. Geoff here, the dude with the deets. So welcome to the first episode here of The Devil's Details. Kind of a tongue-in-cheek name. I'm not like, black magic guy or anything like that. But anyway, so what we're going to get into on this show, which will be a regular thing on here, we're going to get into like the specifics of how a lot of classic rock guitar songs are really played. And today we're going to start an in-depth look at a classic tune by Van Halen, Runnin With The Devil. We're going to cover there's a hidden detail in that main riff, the chorus riff, that I played at the intro here. And if you were really paying attention, you might already caught the detail that I'm going to show you. Then we'll get into the way Ed actually plays the verse riff. It's not like it's written in this book, and it's not how all the online tabs show it. I haven't seen a single one show it the right way. But I'm going to show it to you today. And then I think for next week, we'll save the guitar solo and the backing track. I don't want to cram everything all into one. The first detail is pretty easy, just a little nuance to kind of throw into the mix. The verse riff, that might prove a little more challenging. So a lot of times my tips are supposed to make things easier, but maybe not this first time around. Any links to videos or specific equipment I mentioned will be posted in the description below. Alright, quick summary on the song here. Runnin With The Devil is a half step down. Kinda. It's a little bit trickier than that. And what I really mean by that is I do believe they tuned a half step down, but something happens, like whether it's in the mastering or the tape stretch, who knows. But it doesn't quite sound right if you tune a half step down and then play your guitar to the track. They're still not quite. It's actually more like a quarter step down. And ironic thing here, I am going to point this out. You can go into the book here for Ain't Talking About Love, and it actually says tune down 1/4 step. Now there's plenty other things, well, a main thing that's not right with this one, but that just always struck me as funny. That one says it, and all the other ones say half step. They all sound the same. I like to play along with the track, so I prefer to have, I don't want to try to tune my guitar a quarter step down, so I'll use some softwares that I have, and I'll basically make a copy of the audio track and alter it so it matches the pitch. Otherwise, to me, it creates dissonance and it's just an annoying sound. I don't do any of the special, trick of, I heard Eddie and Jimi Hendrix both would tune their guitar some special way to avoid the potentially dissonant thirds that ring out between the G and B string. I don't personally do that. If I don't like the way it's going to sound, I might just mute a note, or I'll bend it slightly one way or the other. I think I've just adapted to making it sound okay to me over time. So the other thing about this song, it's a super classic song, but it's relatively easy, and beware with that. Simple by Van Halen standards, but by that same measure, you definitely want to nail the parts. You don't want to play it sloppy, because it'll be noticeable. You really have two main parts and two very almost identical guitar solos in this song. You got your main riff, and then that will be, he throws little embellishments on them and groups these into bigger phrases, After the main riff, you have your verse riff. And that's played 3 times. There's 3 verses in the song. Each time through has a unique fill. 2 of them are on harmonics, natural harmonics, and one of them is just a double stop trill. But we'll get to that in a little bit. So you got those, and then you got your two guitar solos, which are essentially there's minor differences between the two. All right, first things first, I've seen plenty of internet debate. What's making that kind of clinky, chimey sounding noise at the beginning? It sounds like someone opened the piano up and scraped the piano strings, kind of, right? So it is not this. It's not on the nut. This song's not even played on the Frankenstrat. I don't have an Ibanez Destroyer, but that's what he's using. He's using his Ibanez Destroyer. So what he's actually doing is upstroking the strings in the area you can see in this photograph. Okay, so after that little intro, you got your bass, you know, and then we get to that main riff, the chorus riff. So not to be lazy here, but there's already a great video about how to actually perform that part of this riff. Go check out Ben Eller, Weekend Wankshop 173. He shows the real way to play Van Halen Runnin With The Devil. I believe that's what it's called. And he does a fantastic job on it. Only thing missing. And here's a little bit of that irony I was going to mention before. This book, which you will see on the screen, has a little thing in the chorus riff that none of the online tabs have. I haven't seen an online guy talk about this either. So you know how we go, we got that muted string down up thing going, right? And then I finish out that first time through the riff. So it's a 2-measure thing, and he does it, Ed stacks it up 4 times for a chorus. He plays it 4 times through. The only 2 times he doesn't is right after the first guitar solo. He only does it twice. And then at the outro, he adds 1 more time through, so he ends up doing it 5 times. Generally, though, it's a 4 times through riff, and it goes like this. So you see on my second time through the 2 measures there, I added that one little thing, little tiny embellishment. And so you got so you do a quick up down, which I'm going to go ahead and call a ta-da, because it's like, it kind of sounds like that. Ta-da, it's like magic. Ta-da! Okay, so the chorus is an 8-measure piece of music, right? It's the 2 riff theme repeated 4 times. Not every time. The book says it's every time. Lots of the times, maybe even most of them, the 3rd and 7th measure are going to get that little ta-da thing, okay? So it's... ta-da! Ta-da! And then on that 4th measure, you don't do the big slide up, you just slowly slide out down. And that's basically the gist of it. Only thing I'd add to Uncle Ben's Weekend Wankshop video as far as the right and left hand techniques, he talks about doing kind of a bounce with your right hand down here at the bridge for getting those notes to sound more choppy, or so. I mean, of course he's right. You want to mute those strings to get that sound cut short, so you're not going. because there's a difference. You gotta do these little details to get the fill. So yeah, Uncle Ben's definitely right. You definitely want to be bouncing, you know, not like extreme, of course. It should be subtle. But another thing besides that, I also noticed that I tend to release my left hand pressure kind of simultaneously. And I don't know if that makes it any quicker or not, but I can't see where it would hurt. So besides your left and right hand muting, the other things to pay attention to is don't be shy. This is an aggressive riff. The ta-da thing is a little bit lighter and subtle, but for the most part, go ahead and hit those strings, you know, with some decent enthusiasm. So I'm a little surprised that all the tabs on the internet don't seem to catch that little ta-da thing. I've verified this against the isolated track too that's out there on the internet. I don't know, I think those are available thanks to Guitar Hero or something. I wish there was more of that stuff out there, but always, if I know I can get it, I'll always use those. Alright, so anyway, to wrap it up with that little ta-da thing, and remember, I'm talking about this. So I'm just going to tell you where I'm hearing him do it. So it's definitely, remember now, it's always, in the book, it says it's always the 3rd and 7th measure, right? So basically 2 times in any chorus of 8 measures. He does it both times in the intro, both times in the first chorus. In the second chorus, he only does the first one. He doesn't do it again right immediately before the guitar solo. And then, as I mentioned early in the video, he only runs through the riff twice after the guitar solo rather than 4 times, and he doesn't do the ta-da thing on that. So then, before the second guitar solo, he kind of does a half one in the first, like the 3rd measure, you know, the first opportunity. It kind of goes. It's like he gets the up but not the down. And you know, I gotta tell you personally a funny story. I used to get frustrated with myself because I would miss those. Like the rest of the riff, I'd hit it up pretty much right on. But once in a while I'd miss one of those quick embellishment things. And because quite frankly, the way you're playing most of the riff, it is kind of hard because you're only trying to get those strings right in the middle, and you're trying to do it kind of light and subtle, you know, so I think it's just easy to miss, and maybe that's why it doesn't happen all the way consistent throughout the song. Just a theory. But then he throws the last one in after that second guitar solo when they go into the outro, which is basically 1 chorus and 1 more time through the 2-bar riff. So last point, and sometimes this happens, especially when an artist has played a song for so many years, it doesn't appear that he really bothers to put that little embellishment in when they play it live anymore. Just FYI, I haven't really noticed it. So guys, that gets us through the main theme riff there for Runnin' With The Devil. So thanks for watching again, and I'll see you next time.